yes, time to get out and grow. My favourite show of the week, don't tell the others. Here with head gardener Lee McGrady and the Fresh Air team, who are John and Anna in Devon. How are you tonight, Anna?
Yeah, doing good. Yes, had a busy day today, and seems to be a little bit warmer temperature-wise here at the minute. So not currently freezing, but a bit of a cloudy one here today. So yes, only plants I've really seen are sort of garden centres and Christmas trees on the gardening side of things. But yeah, all good.
Brilliant, excellent. Glad to hear it that it's slightly warmer in Devon. You're part of Devon, Monsieur Auger.
Yeah, same here. I think, I don't know, I only live about 1.5 miles apart or something, maybe 2 miles. But yeah, it's about the same. It is a bit warmer. Don't know how much longer for. But yeah, not so bad.
Good. Excellent.
I've got a bit of a cold myself, but hey, that happens.
It does at this time of year. Absolutely right. Okay, I think we have questions from you both for a little bit later on in the show. Head gardener McGrady, how's Lisbon? I think you've been out and about today, haven't you?
It's beautiful today, Lisbon. But yeah, I've been down in the Algarve today doing a bit of shopping. So,
yes.
Yeah, it's not a bad thing. Yeah.
Yes, traditional Portuguese fare. So how are things there then in terms of festivities? Are the capital leading the way in terms of getting us ready to light up Christmas and have a great time this year?
I love going to Lisbon city centre. It's always a pleasure. But we went in on Friday night and it was crowded. It was mental. Yeah, the Christmas market's nice, but it was just too full. The lights and the trees are brilliant. They've really done themselves well, but too many people to enjoy it. Yeah.
Oh, okay. And this is what we're talking about. Is the Praça do Comércio, aren't we? Is that the market you mean, or is that a different one we're talking about?
Well, I went there. Yeah, we went there to see the lights, to see the tree. Yeah. The market we went to was around near Lucille train station.
Okay.
Just outside the train station there. But there's a bigger one up near Marcus Pambal roundabout. Marcus Pambal.
Yeah.
So we're going to go there next week, but during the week and not a weekend.
All right.
Well, a weekend, not a weekend. Yeah.
Portuguese doing Christmas proud by the sound of it. And climate-wise, was there a discernible difference between Lisbon and the Algarve today?
No, not really. It's been quite warm up in Lisbon today. It's 14 now, 15 now.
Yeah.
And it was not much warmer down in the Algarve. It was still overcast and cloudy.
Interesting.
Okay. Yeah.
Not too bad for December, Lee. Auntie Seppanen is here. Bon night to you, Auntie, and Eric as well, who often has questions for us. So get them in the chat. If you do have questions for Lee and the team here, it's a boa tarde, todos from Eric as well. So great to see you both. I think there are others watching who may declare themselves sooner rather than later. And if you have any pictures that you want to send in or video clips of your homestead, your garden, or even your patio, or even inside your house with the houseplants that we were talking about previously, do send them in on 913-590-303, and we will appraise them if you're looking for an opinion on them. There's a number on the screen right now, 913-590-303. Always nice to receive those. And we're going to talk about carnivorous plants, aren't we, first of all? John? Or Anna? No, is it Anna with the carnivorous plant question?
Yeah.
This one Fiona sent in. This one's pretty much questions in a question, particularly on the fly catching variety. And Fiona was wondering why hers always seems to die. Is it too much light water, too much variation in temperatures, too many flies? Seriously, would like to know more about these kind of plants.
All of the above. Yeah. They're very tricky to keep. We'll start with the obvious, too many flies. If your fly catcher is working, it breaks the fly down within its own husk, and very often that husk then will die and become part of the nutrient that adds to the soil to help the roots. Most fly catching plants are more concerned about maintaining a stable root than they are a stable growth. So the growth might die, even though the root is quite healthy. So they're quite happy to, when they get to a certain size, to sort of die back themselves. And then that dieback goes into enriching the soil that they come from. Most fly-catching plants, like Carl showing now, they prefer to grow in a poor quality soil because they get all the nutrients from the insects that they catch. So, top tip, keep them away from flies. They don't like direct sunlight. They really don't like to be put in a window. It kind of burns them.
Yeah,
it breaks them down too quick. So they come from shady, dark places to start with. So that's always a good point to go for. And my other top tip is, rather than watering them, take them into the bathroom when you're having a shower with you, and let the humidity in the air water them.
Right.
Because the droplets actually going onto the plant can be absorbed by the roots and by the plant itself. So shower with them, keep them away from flies, and keep them out of direct sunlight. And if you do feel the need to water it, rather than watering directly onto the compost from above, sit it on a wet tray or on a wet plate for a few minutes and let it absorb water from underneath. Because then you can't overwater it. It will only take as much water as it needs, and then the rest will leak back out. So
very good, very good. These are very sensitive plants in my experience, and they've got so many things going against them, haven't they? Because kids want to buy them because not this particular type. There's the more exciting Venus flytrap, isn't there, with the closing jaws? And what happens is, I was saying earlier on, when our kids like poking them, but I mean, grown-ups do as well, don't they, Lee?
I do. I love messing around with them.
But I think that wears them out as well, doesn't it? If you keep poking them and they haven't got something to eat, that must take an incredible amount of energy. That's
what I was saying. Sometimes when the mouth on the Venus flytrap closes, the whole stem will die back.
Incredible.
And that is part of the enrichment of the root system rather than the upper body system. The plant is more concerned with its own root system.
Yeah. And I'm guessing, like you said, they grow in shady, dark places. These guys are in the rainforests, aren't they? Away from human beings, away from a lot of traffic and footfall, and just going about their quiet business of occasionally catching a fly. This is not the plant you buy if you want to try and kill every house plant and fruit fly that ever enters your home. It doesn't work like that, does it?
No, it really doesn't. They are as a species are fascinating, and there are hundreds and hundreds of different varieties from all over the world. And I know a few lads that keep great collections of them, but they spend a lot of money to maintain them. You know, they have specialist greenhouses for them. They have specialist water matting for them, specialist soils for them. But if you've got the time and the effort to spend on them, they can be amazing.
They are. I mean, they're crossing over, aren't they, from plant to animal in a funny sort of way?
Well, yeah, I suppose so. But they still are a plant. It's just they feed differently than other plants. Other plants rely on bees and wasps to pollinate them. These plants tend to develop by root shoots. So they'll send a root out 60 meters, and then that'll redevelop into another one. So they're very energy conscious when they're collecting energy, and they can sit dormant for years and years. They can be in the ground and not fruit. This is a lot of people refer to the upper body of the flycatchers as a fruiting body, like you would with a mush, like maybe some funguses where you call it a fruit body that comes above the soil.
Okay.
So the root system can lie dormant for years and years before it actually produces anything.
Amazing what's going on under the soil, isn't it? That's so fascinating, Lee. And kind of finally, well, I wanted to say that we're really proud of ourselves because we've managed to keep this for a number of weeks now without it dying off. And so
have you showered with it?
I haven't personally, and I'm a bit reluctant.
Start taking it to the bathroom with you. When you're going for a shower, put it on the sink next to the shower. Let the room steam up. That it'll love it.
See, I'm wondering if it's safe to get naked near a carnivorous plant, but I'll take your word for it. I'll take your word for it, Lee. And you've got a little bit of a claim to fame, haven't you, with carnivorous plants in the UK?
Yes, we've found one and registered one in the north of Manchester, which was the furthest recorded north in the UK. They were discovered in Scotland on some of the peat bogs, but ours was the furthest recorded in England, not in the UK. In England. Yeah.
Amazing. So, who do you do? I mean, if somebody thinks they found something special like that, who do they report it to?
Well, you report it to your local botanical gardens, and they will keep a yearly record, then gets passed on to a main office of the botanical gardens. I'm not sure where that's based. I actually think it's somewhere in Kent. But yeah, there's people that keep records of these things and register them for years and years, and keep books for years and years of wildflowers and wild plants that have been spotted and identified. It helps towards getting sites recognised as special interest places. It helps get an extra preservation order on a place or something like that. So it's all worthwhile doing.
Yeah, sounds great. Well, congratulations on that. The legend who is Senor Hall is here from Quinta Castaña. Bon night to you, Jason. Thanks for joining us tonight. We'll show some pictures of your incredible pantry. The hard work collected indoors now. Your harvest, preserved some of it, brewed some of it, fermented some of it. It's an amazing picture, an amazing scene. The 3 pictures that I've got of your pantry. So we'll come back to that. Homesteading at its best, Jason. So impressed with you and your work. We had this morning. What does this mean? VARC tech. It sounds like somebody screams out when the computer's not working. But Tabitha Owens, what are you talking about? Casa Casardas as well. Good evening to all. Hello, Casa Casardas. Great to have your company again here. John, did you want to read this one yourself?
He's muted.
He doesn't want
yes,
to.
I will mute myself.
Okay.
I will mute myself. I do. Anyway, no, I'll be professional now. So this is me, as they sang in The Greatest Showman. Hello, everybody. If you forgot to let us know about a question or have only just thought of one, let us know here.
Very good. Lettuce, with the emphasis on lettuce. No, right here in the chat here on the Gardening Q&A every Monday evening at 6:15 until 7 with the head gardener McGrady and the Fresh Air team, encouraging everyone around the world, wherever you are, to grow more and maybe even grow yourself a bit of food. Whatever your ability, whatever your level of interest, something for you. Go on, Lee.
It's that time of year. Peas and beans. Everybody, start your peas and beans for your early peas and beans. It's time to start now. I'm doing mine on Thursday.
Okay.
So
there you go. Peas and beans time.
Start your peas and beans now. Even if you're going to get a little bit of a frost, it won't do them any harm to have them in trays or to get them out if you can get a covered area. Yeah. But I'll be starting mine on Thursday. So
all right. So the sound, the alert has gone up. Peas and beans heralding the planting of said legumes.
And also garlic in the fridge. Garlic in the fridge this week.
Yeah.
Leave it for 4 weeks. January, we can start planting it out.
Excellent.
So,
this is what we like. We've been doing this. Look at this. We must have been doing this for getting on for a year now, mustn't we?
It's been that long.
Yeah. Well, and isn't it lovely to see the seasons and the full cycle of the year so we can build on the knowledge? So thank you for that. Peas, beans, and garlic, everybody. Evening, everyone from Pete. How was the Algarve, Lee? Are you back home already? We can see him in his natural habitat there. He's home already. And from Eric, I don't know if this is connected to carnivorous plants, but we got some, and I've never heard of these. Is he winding us up? Got some presents from a neighbour, including a few vapor rub plants, the Vicks plant. Is this for real? Any tips on keeping them healthy, including pH for those particular plants? What is a Vicks plant?
I'm not sure. I know Vicks as in the stuff you put on your chest.
Well, that's it. Vapor rub, indeed.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Is it kind of an aloe vera type plant? Is that what he's getting at?
It's I've got a little bit of well, actually I can show you. I don't know if you're going to be able to see this on your phone, but there is a particular kind of succulent called a Vicks plant, which I will endeavour to share with you now, so you might be able to get the idea of this, and I'll read a bit more about it a little later on. But here's just quickly a preview of said plant. It looks a little bit like what does that look like?
It's not on the big screen, Cal.
Oh, beg your
Can you
pardon. I'm
share it
looking
to
at
the screen?
I'm looking at it on my own, but it only seems right to share it with everybody else. And I'll take that off for a minute. It looks like one of the furry mints, doesn't it? But it's obviously a different kind of fragrant aromatic plant succulent. Any joy there, Lee?
Yeah, I'm zooming in on it. I've had to zoom in a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll give you a bit of background. The Constant Delight is described as by this particular site, constantdelights.com. And the Vicks plant is the scientific name is, it's leaping about the place. Forgive me. The Plectranthus tomentosa, meaning cushion stuffing in Latin, to refer to the woolly coat on its leaves. It originates from South Africa with a beautiful aroma, but is rare to find. Maybe that's why we don't know a lot about it. The herb plant grows up to 2 foot high with a maximum spreading of 2.5 feet, which is highly suitable for hanging basket decoration. Freely branched body makes it easier for you to structure the plant, and presumably it's called the Vicks plant because you can give it a squeeze between your thumb and forefinger and it will release an aromatic aroma. There for you, aromatic aroma, of course. Unnecessary repetition there, but you might have to tell us more there, Eric. A new one on us, and that happens, doesn't it? Whenever, however experienced you are as a gardener, that's always going to happen to you, I think.
Sooner or later, yeah. Well, to be honest, it's something I'd be interested in. It's something that I think I want in my garden. So I'll be on the lookout for that. I'm gonna Google that myself and find if I can get a contact in Lisbon or Portugal to actually find some. Yeah, definitely.
Sounds useful with its hanging basket application as well, and obviously with the extra bit of aromatic action going on there. That's always good to have in the garden, isn't it? So another one for you, Lee. We're building a 30-meter greenhouse. What? We can build on either reasonably wet or very wet ground, and can either divert a spring for watering or use a timer on a pipe. But high winds restrict us. That sounds like he's got his peas and beans in early there. High winds, a possible restriction there for Pete. What are you recommending here then, Lee?
Now, is he doing a greenhouse or a polytunnel? There's a big difference between the two. And a lot of people refer to the greenhouse as a polytunnel as a greenhouse, and they're very different. Very different indeed.
Yes.
So I'll take it as a greenhouse made of glass or plastic.
Yeah.
First of all, water is an essential part of it. You've got to have easy access to water. So I would personally go for plastic piping, just because it makes watering a wider variety of plants so much simpler. And maybe even use that watering system above rather than below. So set up a table or a workspace with capillary matting, which is like an undercarpet. Keep that damp very easily. But use your pipes above head with a sprinkler system on it, like you would get for a fire sprinkler system in the UK. Very cheap, very easy to set up. Dead simple to set up. But you can water everywhere at once, and you get the humidity right as well. Rather than soaking the soil, you're soaking everything within the greenhouse.
Real rain.
Secondly, consider your foundations more than your glass, because having a proper workspace that you can walk in between is the first mistake everyone makes with greenhouses. They end up trying to pack everything into a small space, and you can't maneuver and work in a tight area. So some areas raised, some areas down. You want your tomatoes on the ground, but you want your seeds and stuff higher up. That's a big consideration.
Okay.
And the problem is, once you've got your glass in, it's very difficult to make any alterations. And it's very difficult to get the maximum amount of compost or soil you want in as well. So do your foundations before you add any glass. Get all your soil in. Get your wheelbarrow work done first. Because I guarantee you, if you try to walk a wheelbarrow 30 times in with 30 wheelbarrows of soil into a glass greenhouse, you're going to break at least one pane.
Okay. Bitter experience.
Talking from experience.
Yes,
yeah,
indeed. I thought so.
So start from the bottom, work your way up. Also, make sure you've got electricity to it, because you're going to want lighting in there in winter.
Yeah.
because we're what now? We're 6 o'clock, 6:15. It's been dark for an hour already.
Yeah.
So and now is the time for starting your seedlings in the greenhouse and starting to prep for the summer. So you want enough light to be able to work into the evening.
See,
also,
sorry, Lee, go on.
a decent little radio. Because you spend a lot of time in that greenhouse and have a little bit of music playing.
Yeah,
is a lifesaver. Yeah.
All right, John Agate, I think you're going to come up with some tunes to play in the greenhouse for us during the show. DJ Antics also very keen on her music. I think Anna might have a bit of a playlist for music in the greenhouse as well. Not right now, not going to put you on the spot, but I think you're probably going to be able to come up with a few of those during the rest of the show here. Go on, Lee.
Can I just add two more points? You might be tempted to go for plastic rather than glass because it's cheaper. But in Portugal, plastic's no good. It just gets too hot and it melts itself.
Oh.
And so go for glass, and also make sure you got fittings so you can hang down your sunscreen, your sun protectors, so you can get a shaded area within the greenhouse as well. That's essential to do when you're building rather than as an afterthought.
Yeah.
So as you put your frame in, add enough hooks and bars so you can hang your technically curtains up to give a little bit of shade. Yeah.
Okay.
There's loads to consider. If you want to direct message me to have a proper conversation about his own requirements, we can do that. So
sounds
just
like a
direct message me. Yeah.
Yeah, sounds like a good idea, Pete. And if it was me building a 30-meter greenhouse, I'd be thinking about putting that on the one side of the house. Because you're going to get a solar benefit from that, aren't you? And you can make it an intermediate space. Conservatory. But I mean, if
you look at the what they call earth houses in America, it's very popular over there in the States. They are technically one-sided greenhouses, so it's got an embankment with tires and soil, but they like to have a massive glass expanse, and the heat retention's amazing. Even in winter, you get a real great heat supply off them. Yeah.
And so much benefit from that. I mean, you're living in nature for one thing, aren't you? If you can have that intermediate style of living where you've got, 1 foot indoors and 1 foot out, and live in that, the humidity and warmth that creates, you're so close to your food that you're growing as well. I think that's a great way to live and a great design.
I met a lad in Somerset, I think he lived in Somerset, and he had part of his underground heat system was under his greenhouse, and his underground heated the radiators in the house in winter, and it ran under his greenhouse. Yeah. Just because even on the coldest days, you get a higher temperature.
Yeah. I mean, it's such a good thing to capture, isn't it? I've got some lovely pictures on the screen now of Earthships that I think you're talking about. The man behind these, I think, is Buckminster Fuller, a genius, really, of recent times, and they are called Earthships. And these pictures, I clicked on a picture and it's gone to a website. But you're exactly right what you say there. Oh, there's a little bit of a diagram to show how it's built into the land. Water storage built into the land as well. Geothermal vents, berm insulation, rain capture, batteries for storing energy. Got it all going on here. Water management. Captured water can be used for drinking, washing, and flushing toilets. Solar electric panels, sewage treatment planter. Everything going on in the most beautiful way there on an Earthship. And you would think that would be such a sensible and intelligent way to build in the times we're living in. Let's see if this picture comes up any better as a bit of a close-up on the greenhouse system. Oh, no, it's a video. Better not play that in case I'll seek permission first on playing any videos. But I just want an image. I just want an image of a particular Earthship to show how you've got this glazing on one side and then building on the other, or the earth on the other. I don't know if you can see that any better, but let me see if I can blow that up. These are incredible buildings, worthy of a great consideration, I think, in the times we're living in. And they're very beautiful as well. Absolutely gorgeous inside. And there you go. You get a little bit of a sense of it anyway. But good shout on that. I don't know if we've persuaded Pete to go for an Earthship rather than a 30-meter greenhouse now, but let's see about that. Garvo's here as well. Potatoes. I love baked potatoes. So which varieties are best to grow for baked spuds, Mr. McGrady?
Oh, to be honest, I don't really know.
Yeah, it's not a
We
cooking
used
program.
to use. No, it's not a cooking program. No, it's not. I can't think what we used to use back in England. It was a long time ago. The ones I use here are a thick red skin, and I don't actually know what they're called. We get them from the local store, and I only buy them in when they've got them for sale. And to be honest, I can't remember the bloody name of them. But it's a thick red skin, and
Go for it.
yeah, it's quite it's quite how do I describe it? It's quite a fleshy skin on it. And
Yeah.
is that from Garvo?
Yeah.
Garvo, I'll message you. I'll send you a picture of the bloody thing. I've got it somewhere. I've actually got it wrote down. I've got it wrote down on my diary, but that's at the fiance's apartment. So
I
can't
think
be back to my diary.
I think we'll come back. We'll come back to baked spuds, given that they're so popular, and we'll come up with some good varieties here in Portugal.
The thing is, my bucket spuds are harvestable in a few weeks, and my baked spuds will be going in end of January. It's nearly time, you know.
Okay.
We're getting there.
All right. Yeah. All right. So we'll first go to Mr. Agate to see if there's anything to be played on the radio in the greenhouse. Anything occurred to you, John?
Ooh, that's an interesting one. Gosh.
Give him time to think. I'll let him come back to it.
We'll come back to Mr. Agate there. Anna, I think we've got a question from you, and maybe you've got a bit something for the greenhouse playlist as well.
I'm not sure. I've always got the slight deja vu with probably a bit more sort of modern. I could only think of Flowers in the Window by Travis, but partly I think that one stuck with me for the reason it was the time I had a bit of a show with technical mishaps, and that one decided to play 5 times because yes, well, I don't know if I mentioned sort of names because of advertising and stuff, but the music playing system that I was using at the time, the person before me had put shuffle on before my show. I didn't realise it was a simple click on it to turn it off, and it took me about halfway through the show to realise what to do. Somehow it gave me more listeners than I've had before, but I ended up hearing Flowers in the Window about 5 times in one show, which was not the intention, but you
can easily go off, Travis, and that would be a good way to do it. So flowers in the Window. Anyone else with their greenhouse playlist? That would be fantastic. John, you've got a question, haven't you?
Indeed I have. I'll just read it out now. So this is from my mum. What plants do you mulch, and how do you cover them right up in winter or not?
What plants do you mulch?
What plants do you mulch with? Sorry. I'll start again. What do you mulch plants with, and do you cover them up right? Cover them right up in winter or not? Yes. Okay.
So there's certain plants like strawberries and some of the softer geranium types you might want to protect from the frost. The best material for mulching is a straw or a light hay. And I would cover them up pretty much 99%, if not completely. It won't do them any harm. Rhubarb's another good one. You want to cover your rhubarb crowns completely with a straw or a hay mix. And it's also worth netting them sometimes, because if you're in a windy area, anything you use to cover your plant gets blown about a bit. So a little bit of green pea netting, just pegged down, keeps all that compound together and keeps it protected.
Very good.
Anything, John, I would always recommend anything that's really green should be mulched or should be protected from frost. Anything that's going to get frost damage.
Yeah.
Anything woody can be left out without a problem.
Yeah.
So, anything green and soft.
Okay, thank you very much. All right, from R2, the issue I've always had with carnivorous plants is keeping up with a consistent source of distilled water. So water quality important by the sound of it. It might not like my 2 bottles in the shower then. by the sound of it. But thank you for that, Uatu. Oh, and Portuguese is saying battery water is distilled. Any motor spares place, even gas stations. Actually, Lidl sell it in Portugal because I think a lot of people are ironing with not distilled water. It's the other one, isn't it?
I've come across loads of advice for houseplants where they ask for distilled water, and to be honest, it makes no bloody difference. I've never had any trouble. I've never had any trouble using proper tap water.
Yeah.
I don't know whether it's just a bit of a con or whether there's a 3% difference in it. I don't know, but normal tap water is absolutely fine. I've grown houseplants for years and just used tap water where it said distilled water only. I've used tap water, never had any problem with it. All
right. And should it be left to stand for a while, so it comes to room temperature the same as the plant?
We've talked about this before with other watering things. Room temperature water or rainwater is always the best. Yeah, and I fill my little watering can. I put it by the side of the sink, maybe only for 30 minutes, 35 minutes, and just take that cold chill out of it. And then I use it. It's the same with the garden. I always say using the sprinkler system's great, but if you can have a water bucket and use it out of a watering can, it's much better than using a hose pipe.
Okay,
it just takes longer. Yeah,
very good. Jason, whose pictures we will show, says his peas and beans are in already, along with 60 garlic already. Fantastic. Anna, over to you, I think.
We've got a question on parsnips, which is, can they be grown in Portugal?
Yes, they can. Yeah.
Okay. Because we did get this last year, didn't we, I think? Because people are asking that because it's Christmas and they want some roast parsnips on the plate.
They can actually be bought in Portugal. I've seen them for sale here, so it's not such a big deal. But I know people that find it difficult to find them. I actually mentioned it today when we walked out the English shop, funnily enough. Because they had no parsnips in the English shop. Yeah. But yeah, they can be grown. We're just a bit late now. You have to start next year.
Okay.
Around September time.
All right. So get them in the autumn so they can go on your Christmas plate. That's not going to happen for this year. You're going to have to find a gardener who's grown them. Very helpfully, Andy's telling us that another name for the Vicks plant is the Mexican mint. It did look like that really soft mint. Yeah. So it must be like that in terms of foliage, but with that Vicks Vapor Rub smell that we're all familiar with, I think, from our childhoods. We all had an elderly relative who smelled like that, didn't we? The Vapor Rub cream to put on your skin and pastils are made from a plant which smell exactly like them. So does it actually come from that plant? Interesting. I used to make them make tea from them, which is great to stop colds. So some really good medicinal properties there. So definitely, you and me, Lee, we need to find that for here, don't we?
I'm going to definitely look into it, and I'll give you an update next week if I manage to find any. Yeah.
Fantastic. Something's happened, lol. Well, you've definitely bought yourself a nice Father Christmas toy. Disgusting. I saw that earlier on today, Jason. If that's what you're referring to. And I don't know what Portuguese is saying, unless that's another Latin name we've got coming up there for the Mexican mint. It could be, couldn't it? What would you say to this? The plants enjoy music.
Yes, they do. Yes, it's a scientific fact. Yeah, scientific fact. Yeah, there's been loads of studies done about it. Yeah. And they actually prefer, as I remember correctly, they prefer heavy rock music and heavy metal.
Can't believe it.
I know you say that, but Prince Charles swears by it. He has Radio 4 and what was your Classic FM playing in his greenhouses all the time.
That I can understand.
And in his cow milking bands, they play music to the cows as well.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So any other suggestions for those as well? Gratefully received. We're going to have to put a playlist together, aren't we? I think we've got flowers in the window so far. Pete, happy with that advice? Brilliantly. Thanks, mate. Really appreciate it. The spring runs all year round, so we can divert it into a sprinkler system. It is plastic, not glass, and we can use battery lights and have electrics. There you go.
We have plastic, not glass. That might be a mistake.
All right. No, well, he says we've had a mate who's had plastic up for 7 years, and it is good. So maybe in cooler central Portugal. Although, roasting hot in the summer there, isn't it, of course? But anyway,
I've seen plastic greenhouses in England blow up. in the English
Okay.
sun. So, yeah,
All right.
I would
What
never
about this?
recommend it. But,
What about the magnifying effect of the glass and starting a fire, possibly?
well, that's what the screen covers for. The curtains are for. When it gets too hot, you can pull down a small green mesh netting or a small fleece netting, and it protects the plants from that. Or just open your windows. And there are some greenhouses where we actually take out the glass, or we paint them with a whitewash, and that stops the reflective burning onto the leaf during the really hot days.
Yeah, because it can
There's a lot
happen so
of work goes into a good greenhouse. It's not as simple as people think.
No,
I spent many happy days whitewashing glass and then wash it all off again a few days later.
Yeah, happy times.
Yeah.
Happy times.
Yeah.
I know cows love music. In the Netherlands, many farmers play classical music. There you go, as you said there, Lee.
Yeah.
The cows give up to 3% more milk from it. Is that music? Oh no. Somebody had to go there, didn't they? Somebody, how very dare you? Okay. Well, let's change the subject. Well, I'm sure we'll stay far from that, but I'm sure we'll return to that. Look at these pictures. This is some homesteading going on. Thanks to Jason over at Quinta Castaña Chestnut Farm. Basically, look at this that he's been up to. There's some serious fermenting, preserving, brewing, condimenting. Is that a right word? I mean, you must be so proud of what you've done there. What's he got going on here, Lee? There's some proper brewing going on there. Some olive oil at the front.
Knowing Jason, that'll be cider.
Okay, got some cider going on, and he's got some produce hang up. This is why it's called Castaña Farm. Those are all chestnuts in there, aren't they? And is that a leg of ham in there as with some cheeses too? That is a beautiful pantry. They're not going to starve over there, are they? Have you ever anything like that, Lee? Have you laid stuff up for winter like that in such an impressive way?
I have in Scotland, yeah. It was kind of a necessity there. But I was lucky enough to get some of Jason's olives. And my fiance became obsessed with them and said they were possibly the best olives she'd ever had. Yeah. She was very, very pleased with them. Yeah.
We can see him over at the back there because he's obviously cracked them and put them in salt water, I think, in that 5-litre bottle at the back there. That looks like some olive preservation going on there. Jason, if you will, or if anyone else knows here, what is the best way to get those olives off the tree and marinating? And how long does it take? It would be nice to. I know it's not a cooking program, but given that we're so blessed with olives here, it'd be great to hear about that.
I think we should have Jason back on and use him as a Q&A.
Yeah, sure. You up for that, Jason?
When it comes to homesteading, I think he's cracked on really well this last couple of years. And Sandra was so impressed with his olives. She was keen to get some more off him. That's for sure.
Okay. So, legendary olive man, Jason. Hope to get you back on a show. Fun fact from John Agate here. Seeing all that food.
Yes. I just because you were saying that Jason, it's probably cider that Jason's brewing there. But fun fact, when alcohol was illegal in America back in, I can't remember if it was the 20s or the 30s, but anyway, the origins of NASCAR are actually in that ban because after it was made legal again, everyone needed something to do with the cars they'd modified to get away from the police when they were bootlegging all this alcohol. So that's how NASCAR became a thing.
Very good. You learn something every time on the Get Out and Grow gardening Q&A.
Yes, I know that's not to do with gardening. I thought that popped into my head.
It's all good.
It's all good. Jason there.
We do like a fun fact, and we know you pop those into the group. If you're not on our Facebook group, why not join us over there, the Happy Homesteaders? Anna, have we missed anything? Anything that you're seeing that I'm not?
I don't think so. I've been having a look through the chat, and I think we've caught up on everything so far.
Marvelous. Okay, so that's great. The Vicks Plant, the Mexican mint, new to us. We're going to track that down. Some great greenhouse talk. Carnivorous Plants, peas and beans should be going in. Garlic in the fridge. Lee,
garlic in the fridge.
This time of year, anything else we should be thinking about, or can we just kick back?
Yeah. No. I will as well on Thursday. I'm going to start manuring my fruit trees. It's that time of year.
Personally.
So, no, I've bought some bags of horse manure, Carl. So yeah, I'll be surrounding the base of all my fruit trees with a good horse manure mix.
Very good.
They're just getting to the point now where they're really heavy with fruit, and a little bit of energy boost will do them a world of good.
Yes.
So if you've got a few fruit trees in your garden, consider horse manure or a really high quality compost around the base of them, just to give back a little bit of that energy they've used up. Yeah.
Yes.
It helps to protect with the frost as well. The oncoming frost we're going to get in the next couple of months. You want your tree as strong as possible for that, so it doesn't burn back any of the small shoots that came off from last year.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. Stephen, coming to Andy's defense there, don't apologize for cheesy jokes. I guess not. In good company here with the old, there's like dad jokes from the garden, really, isn't it? Final question from Pete then. I got 5 kilos of kiwi fruit today. What can I do with it? Any ideas on how to preserve it, he says. I mean, the great thing about kiwi is it's really high in vitamin C, isn't it? So eat as much as you possibly can right now. But 5 kilos certainly would represent a bit of a glut in the household, I think. What do you do when you get given something like that? I mean, you're more of a gardener than a cook, Lee. How would you respond to 5 kilos of kiwi fruit right now?
I'd put it through the blender and fill up my compost heap because I hate the stuff.
Okay.
But as a rule, putting it into a tray and put into a dark space, it should last for quite some time. A dark, cool spot, and it should last quite a while.
Okay.
And the other bit of advice would be YouTube it. YouTube for recipes where you can use it for storage in jars. I don't know what you can make out of kiwi fruit. It's not my favourite.
You can make jam. You can make a really nice jam. Mrs. M made some really nice. We were given some real bulk delivery of kiwi fruit, and we didn't want to waste it. So we ate as much as we could. They're lovely, split in half and eaten like a boiled egg. The kids like them that way, and it's good to get the vitamin C inside you this time of year for sure. But she made some wonderful kiwi jam, which wasn't too difficult to make. There's a solution for you there, Pete. Kiwi fruit jam. I'm sure you can get a YouTube recipe on that.
Put it through the wood, put it in the compost heap.
Yeah, or just stick it straight on the compost, according to Lee, or throw it at passers-by. We pick up. No, don't do that. We pick our olives by hand, then pick the juiciest olives and check for holes. Give the olives a quick wash and destem them. Pack in a container and cover with a brine. 1 cup of salt. Change the water once a month for at least 6 months. Wow, 6-month process. When soft and they've lost their bitterness, pop in a jar with the good olive oil and herbs of your choice. My mouth is watering just hearing that. So a 6-month process, but that sounds lovely. And that's why the ladies love Jason Hall's olives. Kiwi ice cream, possibly as well there. Good idea, Andy, from Pete there. And thanks. Yeah, kiwi jam, definitely recommend it. A couple of slices of kiwi in a glass of Coke. Nice. Yes, use it like a slice of lemon, like with your ice and a slice. Sounds good. I think, eat as many as you possibly can and preserve a few as well there, Pete. Good luck with the kiwi fruit. Thanks, everybody, for your questions tonight. Anything else come to mind, Lee, as far as what we need to do in the garden goes before we leave tonight?
Oh, not really. I'm doing a bit of overseeding on the patchy lawns. Make sure the irrigation systems in all the gardens are still working, but only turned on low.
Yeah.
Prepping beds ready for the bulbs going in. That's a big time of year now. The bulbs, that's going to start them just after Christmas. But I'm preparing the beds and the spaces for them already, just so the ground's nice and easy to dig. Barring that, just enjoy what we've got coming. Just enjoy the flowers that are here now. Yeah.
Yeah. And how lovely to get some of your own produce on your Christmas plate as well. Extra celebration if you've grown something and you can make it part of your Christmas dinner. Well, how good is
that? That's why I'm harvesting my potatoes next week, because they'll be perfect for Christmas dinner then.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Okay, well done, everybody. Thanks, John. Thanks, Anna. Thank you very much, Lee. We're going to go out tonight. It's our traditional music that you know and love, but this is our advert, which you may see elsewhere as well. Thanks very much, everybody. Bye for now. Hey, this is Carl from the Share team. I'm here with Anna and John. Say hi, Anna and John.
Hello.
Hello.
And when are we here, guys, doing our gardening Q&A?
Well, that is a very good question, Carl. We are here at 6:15, and you can either join us on Facebook, and to do that, you have to be in the Facebook group Get Out and Grow with the Happy Homesteaders. So if you fancy it, just put that into the Facebook search box and join the group, because there'll be lots of lovely gardening pictures in there as well. And Anna, there's another way to do this as well, isn't there? So I was just wondering what that is.
But you can find us on YouTube as well as the Facebook group, and you can get in touch on the StreamYard live stream as well, of course.
Fantastic. Thanks, Anna. So on YouTube on a Monday night as well, 6:15 Portugal time, and send your questions in to Anna, who will ask those questions on your behalf on 351 on WhatsApp, 913-590-303. So we'll see you all soon, 6:15 on a Monday night, Portugal time, with all those
and
gardening
so will
questions.
head gardener Lee McGrady, who we forgot to mention.
And let's not forget that old rascal Lee McGrady, who is the head gardener, who is the authority on these matters. Ciao, ciao. Bye for now. See you then.
Bye.